from Houston, Texas, and around the world. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, we're about to do this thing. Thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting you champagne wishes, caviar dreams, all that. Brad, how you doing, man? How you feel, man?
Well, I'm feeling great. How could you not be feeling great off the weekend we had at Reality Wrestling? We got a little K-Pod action in. Then we had the fight of the century, and that same Saturday. You know, I had to spend all Sunday recovering. It was too much excitement for one day, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm starting to show off. Like I said, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. But I'm starting to show off a little somber, man. I just want to pay my respects, to the family of Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton passed away. Had 2 legendary fights with, one with Floyd Mayweather and one with Manny Pacquiao. Both great fights. And not just that. I mean, he had so many great fights. Dude came over here from Ireland and just seemed like brought all of Ireland with him, when he came. As well, passed away at 46 years old, and because I just want to pay my respects to Ricky Hatton and what he did for the game of boxing and entertaining me for so many years, man. Great loss. Like I say, the young age of 40 years old. That just give everybody that knowing, man, that we're not promised tomorrow. Hug your kids, hug your family. Tell them you love them.
Yeah, it was shocking. You're the one who told me that Ricky Hatton had passed yesterday, and we were just talking about Ricky making a comeback on the show a few months ago, even at his age, 45, 46. That's an old person to be getting back into the squared circle at times. I think that we live in an era where you don't think that, but yeah, that's a huge lift for somebody. And when you talk about Ricky, great Irishman, and I remember the chants, I think during was it the Pacquiao fight? Oh, Ricky Hatton. Yeah. Oh, Ricky Hatton. That's what was echoing in my head all day yesterday as we found this news out. Definitely very sad. My prayers with his family, all his supporters, his team, his teammates, his coaches, everybody who was getting him ready for a new fight as well. Just always sad when you lose somebody at that age, man. 46 that's nothing. That's like not even halfway through your life for some people, right? So all respect to Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, you talk about getting ready for a comeback, but being out of the game, like retiring, young and coming back, like for George Foreman, it wasn't easy. I can only imagine what it's like, trying to come back to that game, in your 40s. That's just not something that I recommend to anyone. But it makes me think about, the Mike Tyson Floyd fight coming up. A little bit.
Yeah.
You wonder.
What do you think of that fight?
Well, we know, we love Mike Tyson. We love Mike Tyson. But that's not a fight that Mike Tyson could win. And like I say, if it's just for exhibition purposes, okay. I can go for that. If it's just for, Mike Tyson to go out and get some exercise, keep the heart pumping. I get that. But as far as those guys going out there and having a real fight, I don't see that happening. I just don't see it happening. This could be the biggest work we've ever seen. I'm serious. We talk about wrestling. This could be perhaps the biggest work of them all. Seriously.
Well, you talk about 2 guys who spend time with the WWE as well, so they know what it's like to promote that character from that aspect. I think that here's my feeling on it. As a fan of the sport of boxing, you're like, you kind of roll your eyes when you hear it, right? This is the Paulification of professional boxing. This is the Jake Paul, Logan Paulification of professional boxing. They have opened a lane and a door for guys to continue to make money and go out there and have these exhibition fights. Like each one of these guys have fought one of the Paul brothers, Logan Paul, Floyd, and then Jake, we know earlier this year had the fight against Mike at AT&T Stadium, fight in name only, might I add. there's going to be a market for it. There's going to be hundreds of thousands, millions of people watching this fight. They're probably both going to pick up a nice little check. We know Floyd loves his money. Book. We know he loves his money, so he's going to get up to spend some money. You know, and if he's going to get out of bed to do something like this, even against a guy like Mike Tyson at an advanced age, it's got to be a nice little paycheck for him. You know, so from the fan perspective of me, it's kind of a disappointing announcement. From the sports intrigue of it, like how am I not going to watch it? You know what it kind of reminds me of? A little bit different, but it reminds me of when Chuck Liddell and Tito fought again, right? We knew that. I was like, okay, all right, guys, this is kind of, you know, a little bit too far past the prime for this to be an entertaining fight. And it wasn't an entertaining fight. It was a massacre, or a one-handed massacre from Tito to Chuck, and it was hard to watch, but I still tuned in to watch it. And I feel like they're still going to get my viewership. I don't know how I'm not going to watch this.
I tell you this, I'm not going to pay for it. I can tell you
that. I'm not paying.
I'm not going to pay for it. No. And second, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. Normally, when I want to watch a fight, I'll go out of my way to watch it. You know, I'll stay up late.
Fight on Saturday.
You know, I'll plan around it. You know what I mean? I get everything ready. You know what I mean? Because I want to be, you know, comfortable. But for that fight, I don't see myself, you know, getting myself, you know, geared up to actually, you know, go out of my way to watch that fight. I just don't. You know what I mean? Because we saw what, like, I don't want to see Mike get hurt or anything like that. And last time Mike was getting ready for a fight, I think he got, you know, something happened in training, you know what I mean? Where it was not an injury, but a medical issue.
Medical issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A medical issue. And when you having you start getting medical issues when you get around 60. Trust me, I know.
Speaking from experience, no doubt.
I'm serious. Even as good a shape I'm in, you know, I've visited the doctor more these last few years than I have my whole life. You know what I mean? So I do not see Mike going out there and giving a well account of himself at the young age of 60. Okay. I just don't see that happening. So that's why for me, it's not going to be a fight that I'm going to go out of my way to watch, but I'm sure I'll catch it. Clips on YouTube, just like I do with AEW. I know people gonna eat me up about that, but that's the way I watch it. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's the way I watch fights, when I'm really not that interested in the fight. Okay, so yeah. AEW,
that fight,
AEW fans been killing me lately. I just want to put that out
there. They're not letting up on you.
Oh man, they won't let up off me. You know, they've been killing me, man. Yeah.
What have they been saying?
You know, just you know, my just like the way I compare, you know, Hamilton to wrestling, and a lot of people say that's no comparison. You can't compare something like that to professional wrestling. And me personally, I think I can. You know what I mean? I really do. I mean, the art of Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, it plays out in professional wrestling in so many different ways. Yeah, but that's only for the smart wrestlers, you know, to understand and take something away from that and use it. The ones that perhaps, you know, are not. Then again, I wouldn't even put this on the wrestlers. These are fans. These are fans who are speaking. I'm sure they don't know. You know what I'm saying? But no, I think art like that definitely coincide with professional wrestling 100%.
Yeah, if you're in the business, well, I think that one of the things about being in the professional wrestling industry is that you see professional wrestling in everything. So like once you understand the intimate workings of pro wrestling, you can see it in movies, in theater, in sport, in politics, in daily workplace environments. You see it everywhere. You know, people working the gimmick, trying to protect their spot, going out and doing things, the art of doing nothing, but it's everything. I see that in theater a lot. Sometimes a stare, you know, out, or, you know, like sometimes when you go to a concert and the singer just holds a note, they just hold one note for 30 seconds. That's nothing, but it brings the crowd in. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. It's such a wrestling moment.
Dramatic. Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, Road Gold Rush went down this weekend, and I want to thank my team, man. I want to thank my team again. You know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Reality of wrestling is the best damn show out there, outside of, you know, like the big companies. We're the best. Reality wrestling is the best. we're at the top of the heat. If you haven't checked out reality wrestling, if you're not in the area, check it out on YouTube. Every weekend we put out brand new shows. It's not, reruns or anything like that. We put out brand new shows. One of the best compliments came from a fan this week, said reality wrestling outside of, the major companies, we have the best storylines, out there. No, I think they even said, even with the big company, we got the best storylines, in all of professional wrestling, even with, what we're stacked up against out there. And I believe it. I really believe in that statement. My guys and my girls, they went out there and they showed up and they showed out, and they do it every single month at Reality of Wrestling, man. I just want to give those guys a round of applause, because they have been doing some really, really good work from top to bottom. I appreciate all of my guys. I really do.
Yeah, that Gold Rush show was one of those, like, as soon as the 1, 2, 3 comes on the main event, you kind of look around and go, it was pretty damn good. I don't know too many people who could pull something off like that. The main event, obviously, Gino Medina, Trick Williams for the TNA World Championship was awesome. We had, Cap Jones in the building with his WWE ID Championship. You have the tag team champions, the Command, highlight. That was a highlight of the night for me. Big Luther, come on, man.
It's coming up, man. He's going to get signed, man. He's going to be a major star in this business. We're going to take a break, guys. And you're in the Hall of Fame, man. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Fellas, let's talk about confidence. The kind of confidence that counts when it's time to step up and deliver. And that's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets designed to help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections. We're talking about getting in the game and staying in it.
And you know what they say, man. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And with Blue Chew, you can take these chewables anytime, day or night. So you're always good to go when the opportunity strikes. And the best part, the entire process is done online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy.
Ooh, yeah. And Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is, offering you a whole month for free. It's simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com and consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once approved, you'll receive your prescription delivered discreetly right to your door, made in the USA and ready to go when you are.
Now, Brad, let's get real. Does it work? Man, they'll mistake you for a soldier at full salute. You'll be pitching a tent like a true Eagle Scout, man. Blue Chew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That's the mission, dog.
And listen, confidence is key, especially when you're all bricked up. There's nothing sexier than a man who's ready to go. And at BlueChew.com, they can help bring that energy when it matters most. Don't miss out on what could be the best night of your life. Make life easier by getting harder. Discover your options at BlueChew.com, and we've got a deal just for our listeners. Try your first month absolutely free. Visit BlueChew.com, use the promo code Booker, and there's more details and important safety information. And as always, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast.
Oh, yeah, man. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Hey, man, just want to remind everybody, Houston Texans versus the Bucks tonight, Monday Night Football. H is up, H-Town. The voice of the Houston Texans 2025. You're looking at him. You're looking at him right here. So make sure you guys tuned in to ESPN tonight, all right? Because guess who you're going to see? You're going to see your boy doing it big. So now, man, I'm excited. Myself, Brad, the lovely queen, AJ Francis is going to be hanging out with us tonight. We will be at Monday Night Football tonight in the H. So boom, let's get ready to get this thing crunk, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I've never been to a Monday Night Football game. This will probably be my first Monday Night Football game that I've been to. So I'm really excited.
Just keep hanging with me. Just keep hanging. You know what I mean? You get a chance to feel the vapors. You know what I mean? The vapors. You know what I'm saying? So no, it's all good.
The vapors. You know what? I'm catching a contact from being around Booker T and That's what that. Hey, look, I'll take it. You know what? I'll take it. And I know that we're going to be having primo seating. I don't have to worry about getting in. Parking's taken care of. Shout out to the whole Houston Texans
That's what you get,
organization. Shout out to Ura, who made all of it possible. Hey, you know what? I will be honest with you. Sitting there, if anybody has not seen the Booker T and Houston Texans video, where all paths lead to the H, with Book kind of getting out of that big jacked up pickup truck, the cowboy boots on, holding the flag, literally holding the flag. The biceps are curling and rippling in the Houston, Texas moonlight. The sweat is beating up and dripping off. It was a great video. It was hot. It was super hot. You know what I mean? And my favorite thing is when they brought over the big chain and you had to put the chain on. That chain weighed so much, you were like, I think I'm gonna have a neck injury from this thing.
Gotta have surgery after you wear one of those all night. I don't know how those rappers do it, man. I don't know how those rappers do it. Yeah, with all the gold.
Do you remember T-Pain at one time had that huge? It was called the big ass chain because that's what it said. It said big ass chain. Do you remember that? I don't know how you wear the thing around, and I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous to have something like that on.
Why? Why is that?
Because somebody might come try to.
Normally, guys that have something like that have security around them, or gang members,
or both. A rapper will have cops and gang members together.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
So that normally doesn't happen when somebody walking around with a big chain like that.
Well, you know what? Look, I know Reality Wrestling Gold Rush was awesome. People who tuned into Title Match Wrestling got to see it live. You got to see the new Reality Wrestling champion, Danny Limelight. You got to see the Glory champion, AJ Francis, Illa Fatu, Trick Williams, TNA World Champ, so on and so forth. An incredible women's match, by the way.
Not just that. Not just. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. We got to give big props to the fans. Man, that house was so freaking nuts. The fans came out and represented at Gold Rush, and I tell you, man, it was sold out to the rafters. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it feels good. It feels good to say that. Sold out to the rafters with those new risers going all the way up to the ceiling. And that hard cam shot, man, it was beautiful. A beautiful, beautiful thing. As well as construction crew is going back in the morning. All right. DSS, big shout out to DSS Scaffolding. We'll be going back in the building in the morning, doing more construction work, getting more people in, more seating, more action, more fun. So guys, oh yeah, man, let's get ready to go.
Yeah, no, and again, if you didn't watch it live, you'll see it on the Reality Wrestling YouTube channel in the coming weeks. It was just everybody went out and delivered. They went out there and delivered. The women's Fatal 4-Way, I had a lot of fun watching. Zeta Steele and Kaya Dream and Lady Bird, Monica Monroe, and Maya World. They went out there and they represented. Again, the whole thing.
I was reading something on Twitter that Maya World had forgot her gear at home.
That's true.
Oh, wow. She made up for it. She went out there. She threw something together, and she was working.
The women in the locker room rallied around her.
Awesome,
yeah,
man. That's good. I know how that feels. I've done that a couple of times myself. Yeah.
What did you do when you opened the bag and there's no gear in there?
Can't remember what I did for that night. I might have went out and grabbed something.
I'm throwing on some jeans or something.
I might have went out and grabbed something, but I can't remember. But I've done that once, before.
Once is enough, I'm sure. You never want to do that again. But post Reality Wrestling Gold Rush, of course, was the big fight that everybody had been waiting for, anticipating, getting ready to watch, and that was Canelo Alvarez taking on Terence Bud Crawford to declare the greatest of their generation. And man, was it a fight to see. The atmosphere in Allegiant Stadium, you could tell, was palpable. Both of these men were ready, willing, and able to go out there and lock horns. And this is let me ask you this. This is a boxing match that I feel 5 to 10 years ago would have never happened. They wouldn't have made this fight.
It wouldn't have happened 5 or 10 years ago. Now, I mean, with Turkey Al-Sheikh coming in, changing the whole name of the game as far as boxing goes, giving the boxers a fair chance at going out and making some money and then being able to walk away from this thing, healthy enough to, still have, some life after the thing is all over. I appreciate Turkey Al Sheik for doing that. 76,000 people in the stadium. So that was a win. That was a win in every shape, way, form. My thing though is, fights just aren't the way they used to be. You know what I mean? This was a mega fight. This is a mega fight, and it drew like a mega fight. But the anticipation of seeing the mega fight, I don't know if that came to fruition for me. It was a fight, you know what I mean? But nothing really happened in the fight that made me really feel like we were seeing something that was extraordinarily special. I don't know. I could be wrong. To me, that's just the way it felt, watching the fight, because nothing really dramatic happened in the fight all night. So it wasn't Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. You know what I mean? It wasn't Hagler, Leonard. You know what I mean? It wasn't none of that. So for me, it was a good fight. It wasn't Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. It was nothing nowhere near, something, of that magnitude. So for me, it was a somewhat of a lackluster fight.
Well, I understand that. Yes, there wasn't a huge dramatic stomp from one guy to the other, bloodbath, incredible exchanges, knockdowns, get-ups, all the drama of a huge fight. Maybe you would think of going back even to the days of Ali and Foreman at the Rumble in the Jungle with the Thriller Manila. None of that happened. But at the same time, when you say nothing special happened in the fight, I actually disagree with that, because what we saw, the performance from Terence Crawford, was special in the sense of he went out there and he did something that he was the underdog. People really did not think that he could go out there and go up 2 weight classes, first got to do it, and become a unified champion at 168 against a guy like Canelo Alvarez, who, yes, I think he's on the back half of his prime. I don't think he's on the ascent. I don't think he's standing on the mountaintop of it. I think he's on the backside of it. But nevertheless, went out there and dominated the fight. There was never a time where you were worried about Terence Crawford at all. That 5th round, maybe, but other than that, he was a complete powerhouse. And I thought that was a special performance from Terence Crawford. He didn't knock anybody out, but he did look like the best fighter on the planet.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Terence Crawford. I'm not going to do that. Because both of these guys, I'm not taking anything away from Canelo either. You know what I mean? Canelo Alvarez, 35 years old, right? Terence Crawford, 36, 37 years old. Both of those guys. 37. Yeah, both of those guys, so it wasn't a huge advantage, for either guy other than, the two weight classes. I think Terence Crawford handled that jump relatively easy. I thought in the fight, Terence was stronger. I don't know if he was bigger, but he definitely was stronger. You could see all the wear and tear on Canelo Alvarez as well. Canelo did everything he possibly could do to win this fight. By the rehydration clause, that went out of the window. Guy looked like a light heavyweight, in there. He had only one game plan, and that was throw big shots. That was it. He had no jab. All he was doing was the left hook to the body and the right hand over the top. That's all he was doing. He was looking for the left hand to set something up, but it just never did. Bud didn't take the bait or anything like that. Bud was a better boxer. He was just a better pure boxer. And there again, I'm not saying Bud didn't do anything special. Yeah, he's an undisputed champion now. He can retire right now. All right. He's got more money than he's ever going to make from one fight. So if you have another one, that's just going to be icing on the cake for him. Whatever he does, it's definitely going to be at his behest. But my thing is this: like I say, as far as the fight build up and all the hoopla, it didn't live up to the expectations. That's just me.
It wasn't what you wanted from a. Yes, I understand. It wasn't what you wanted as far as that dramatic fight or a comeback from behind victory from one guy or the other, or you can't believe what you're seeing. It wasn't Balboa and Creed.
It wasn't Spence Crawford.
It wasn't Spence Crawford.
We left that fight with a feeling like we had never felt before. You think
we couldn't stop talking about it?
You think you would walk away from that fight feeling the same way? No way.
No.
We got to take a break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, this is Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Fame. I got something for you guys, man. Look, when I was a kid, man, cereal was my jam. But now, since I'm a grown man, I'm looking for something that gives me more than just a sugar rush and carbs, man. That's when I found Magic Spoon. Look, it's a cereal that gives you the taste of your childhood favorites, but without sugar and packed with tons of protein.
And if you're already a fan of Magic Spoon, then you need to listen up to this because I've got some big news. Magic Spoon has taken that amazing cereal that we all love and turned it into high-protein treats. These new treats are light, they're crispy, and they become my go-to snack, especially before or even after the gym.
Yeah, man, every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of net carb. That fruity and cocoa flavor are the classic ones, but there's a whole lot more to try, man.
And those new treats, they've got 12 grams of protein and come in flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Perfect when you're on the go or you need a quick snack to fuel up before that workout.
Yeah, man, I keep a box in my gym bag, but it's a great late night snack as well. Those treats have that crispy texture, great taste, and the macros that make you feel good about eating them.
So Magic Spoon's bringing back those nostalgic flavors, but without all the stuff that we don't want. So if you want to try it for yourself and get $5 off your next order, go to magicspoon.com/HOF. That's magicspoon.com/HOF. Or you can even find it on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store.
That's magicspoon.com/HOF for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream. Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. I don't know, what should we go? Should we go with some wrestling news? I mean, Andrade, he's gone from the WWE. Dominic Mysterio, he's the new AAA champion, right?
AAA Mega Champion, yeah. WrestleMania 43 is going to be going to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, go and get some of that money. Yeah. But hopefully.
Well, you know what? Why don't we start WrestleMania? So because not a lot of information out on it other than Royal Rumble this year upcoming in 2026 will be in Saudi Arabia, and then the first ever WrestleMania held outside of North America. So no US, no Canada, will be in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia in 2027 in, I think, celebration of the country's 300th birthday. The rumored amount, according to the Paradigm Talent Agency, is apparently $250 million they're getting paid for that one event to take place over 2 nights. $250 million. They are going to be given the equivalent of an Avengers movie of budget to be able to produce the live event known as WrestleMania over 2 days. It is quite astounding, a figure. And in a time and place where TKO is all about the dollar, and you look, that's their business. That's what the money's for. You can't hate too much on 250 M's. That's hard to pass up.
I'm trying to figure out how to get me some of them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be calling. Yeah, we need Booker T versus King Booker in one of these fights.
And guess what? We'll make that happen somehow.
We'll figure it out.
But no, man.
Hendrix better start getting his biceps ready.
It's gonna be crazy, man. No WrestleCon money. No WrestleCon. That's what a lot of guys are really ticked off about. That WrestleCon is gonna be preempted for 2 big shows. So it's a lot of upset people out there right now. But hey, I get it. It is about dollars and cents at the end of the day. It is about, the talent and being able to create a lot of revenue to pay these guys. You know what I mean? Hopefully they're making, the most money that they've ever made in their lives. Because the thing is, it didn't last forever. You want to make as much money as you possibly can out of the thing and be ready to parlay it into something else. So for me, I get it. For the people that's upset, I understand their gripe, but for me as a businessman, this is what I say. What would you do?
I got to pick up a check. You know what I mean? Because I got to think about the life of my business and how am I going to pay this talent, this overhead? There's a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's just hard to pass up a check like that, especially when you have it. Look, we all knew they were going to get WrestleMania eventually. This is not a surprise, I don't think, to anybody, because if you follow the tea leaves of what we've had here for Saudi Arabia, they've had an elimination chamber. They've had a king and queen of the ring. So for them to get Royal Rumble and then WrestleMania is not a shock to me in the slightest. Yeah, and as far as an American wrestling fan, we are unbelievably spoiled to be able to have all the events that we get in a calendar year here stateside. And I know the national audiences and international audiences, more like it, have been getting a bigger benefit as of late with WWE being on the road more worldwide. And I think that that's great. I also think what an opportunity if you're All Elite Wrestling. What a great opportunity, because WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi, which means you're going to have a whole contingent of North American fans who normally are used to spending their money to travel to another state to watch this big WrestleMania every year, who may not want to make the trip to Saudi Arabia for whatever reason that may be, too long of a flight, too high of cost, don't feel comfortable, whatever the case might be. So now if I'm AEW and Saudi's going to be, WrestleMania and Saudi's going to be running earlier in the day, why not do a big show stateside in the evening hours, get the WrestleCon money? You know what I mean? Still do the big event. I think that this is a great opening lane right now for AEW. I would take advantage of this.
Yeah. You from a business perspective, that may sound good, but if it flop, you got egg all over your face. So me personally, I wouldn't even want to try to venture in doing something like that. Me personally, just because I wouldn't want to take the risk of losing, and there again looking a certain way because I was just trying to do something because of. It's just me.
Well, old school days when they would run a pay-per-view, WWE would run Survivor Series. They would run a Clash of the Champions the same night to try to get that free television audience to not tune into the pay-per-view.
I get it. But the thing is, you might be shooting yourself in the foot, because that's like, big bank take little bank, so little banks now is trying to take big bank. That's a great analogy. Even though there's a lot of bank on one side, but as far as cachet goes, on this side is so much more bank on this side. You know what I mean? So, nah, man, I wouldn't want to delve into that just because I would not want to, back myself into a corner.
But nevertheless, it will be interesting to see what happens in 2027 for WrestleMania. But they still got to go to Las Vegas next year again before we even get there. So we're a long ways away.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go back to Vegas, baby. Love Vegas. It's gonna be a nice little week. And you know what? I might even go a little early this time. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, we'll see. You were there a week last time. I don't know why you'd want to go any earlier again, but that's up to you. But you know what? You were also on SmackDown this last week. You know what I mean? And you had a front row seat and to all the action there at SmackDown. You and Vic Joseph were filling in, I think, because they were running AAA at the same time, wherever the case might be. It was cool to see Booker T return to the SmackDown kingdom. And how did it feel for you to be in Norfolk, Virginia for that faithful night?
Man, it felt good, man. What's crazy was when I pulled up and in Norfolk at the Scope, you park right up underneath. And I pulled in and I go, God, man, it just like memories just flooded back to all the times that I had been in that Norfolk Scope back in WCW. So many times making that walk, and the fans are always right there to greet you. They're looking for pictures, autographs, and whatnot. So it was just amazing. It was amazing being a part of SmackDown. One night only. It was amazing to be a part of the broadcast, for one night. Me and Vic, we had so much freaking fun. That 2 hours went by so fast, and I was like, man, this, I don't know, man. I don't know. I always said I never really want to do the main roster commentary anymore. a lot of people probably don't want to see me. They watch the commentary, but I had such a great time, me and Vic, on Friday night, and hopefully I'll get a chance to do it again sometime.
So let me ask you this: when you're sitting there at ringside and you're staring up at that ring all night, does your neck get stiff at all to where you might have to pop it? You know what I mean? Do you have to pop your neck?
I almost had to pop it a couple of times. You know what I mean? But I refrained. I want the internet to blow up on me again. Trying to make up, stories, trying to cancel me, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know why people want to cancel me. I'm having a great time. I'm living my best life right now. And to be able to, like I say, to hang out, at SmackDown and do it just, for a minute. I swear, man, I had such a great time. I really did.
Any of the talent or matches stand out to you from that SmackDown show? Anybody you were happy to see, both either in the ring or in the back?
Man, the matches were good. You know what I mean? The matches were stellar, I thought.
Stratton and Cargill was one.
Stratton and Cargill, they definitely took it to another limit. There's a couple of things in that match, that me personally, I wish I had a chance to work with Jade Cargill, and really got a chance to fine tune some things with Jade Cargill to really put her on the right path of going out there and doing what I know she wants to do more than anything, and that's take over the WWE Women's Division. That's win the World Championship. I know that should be the goal for most people getting into this business. And Jade Cargill, she's still such a work in progress. She's still such a raw piece of clay that's being molded into something special. And me personally, I would love to be that sculptor, as far as getting her on the right track. And hopefully if she hears this message, Jade, give me a call so we can get you down to reality of wrestling. And we can get in the laboratory. We can put the black mask on and start asking ourselves those serious questions. You know what I mean? So let's go to work. Let's go to work.
Put the black mask on.
Self-interrogation mode. Self-interrogation mode. That's when you start asking yourself the real questions, the tough questions. Am I really made for this? Is it really my time? You know what I mean? What is it going to take for me to take over? That's what I'm talking about, putting the black mask on, asking the tough questions.
I hear you. Well, you know what? To me, it was cool to see King Booker back on SmackDown. What do you let Vic get away with a few too many jabs, I think. I feel like you need to jab him back.
You know what, bro? You can't be unprofessional and do stuff on television. You know what I mean? I may have wanted to do something, but you don't want to do it on television. That's when you check somebody in the back. You pull them aside in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Where it's only one stall in there. You know what I'm saying? And you take care of business. That's the way we do it. You know what I mean? No, you feel me? That means you're like in a phone booth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you ain't got nowhere to run. It's a fight about to go down.
I hear you. I'm with you. Do we take a break? Please, God, say we do.
Take a damn break. Stick around. You're not Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man, Brad Gilmore. And today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With Earnin, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
Earnin is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the Earnin app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make Earnin part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to Earnin.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download Earnin today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with Earnin now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Getting close to wrapping this thing up, man. What should we go
Well, you were talking about Andrade.
Yeah, that's what
getting a release.
Andrade got released from WWE. I just seen Andrade's gone from WWE. I saw him put out a thing saying thank you WWE as well on Twitter. I don't know what happened, but I know since Andrade came back, he really hadn't been used a whole lot. I haven't really seen Andrade out there doing his thing, because the dude's a hell of a worker. I always thought Andrade was a really, really good worker. I always thought Andrade kind of like tipped his hand a little bit too early on how good he really was from a luchador perspective, because he had the American style pretty much down, and then he started flying and doing stuff. I'm like, wait, this guy's really, really good. No, I don't know. What do you think happened with Andrade? Momentum?
It's interesting. You know, what I've read online is it had to do with some sort of disciplinary act of some incidents that occurred perhaps a month or so ago at a SmackDown. That's what I've read online. Again, that's what I've read. I don't know that to be the case. It does seem like Andrade, in that first run that he had in WWE, that seemed to be his best run. You know, when he was paired with Zelina and she was the mouthpiece for him, and he was U.S. champion, and he looked like he was going to be a megastar. Then he goes over to AEW. Remember, he had some backstage altercations at AEW. I think him and Sammy Guevara got into it one time or something like that. Wasn't his favorite place to work, and then came over to WWE last year. Seemed like, okay, we're going to get a cool Andrade run, and it just never took off for whatever reason that might be. You know, I know that he and Ray Phoenix were tagging as of late, maybe turning that into something, but he always just felt like a guy, not always, but in this recent run, he felt like a guy who just didn't really have a place. Like, they didn't know where to put someone like Andrade. And then that, coupled with anything that was going on backstage, or if he was being, obviously a disciplinary action. I don't know what all that entails, but obviously it was enough to say for the company to say, you know what, I think let's put this on the back burner for a little while, and you step away, and we'll see if there's anything here.
You think maybe he might just be relocated, to AAA?
Could be. That'd be a great place for him. AAA would be a great place for him. I don't know.
I think just because I know he had something to do with the AAA show. I saw him on some of the press stuff that they were doing with some of the other guys, Rey Mysterio and all those guys. I definitely think a guy like that is too good of a worker just to say, let's just forget about him and throw him out the pasture. I think he would definitely be good for AAA and what they're doing over there. I don't know if that's something he want to do though. I'm just throwing it out there because Andrade is there again a hell of a worker. He really is.
According to Sports Illustrated, and this is they cite multiple sources, say that Andrade had at least one wellness policy violation during his most recent WWE run. It is not known how he was in violation of the policy or whether, in fact, he tested positive for a banned substance. It is also clear if this directly led to his release, but it was noted he was suspended without pay as a result of it. It could be stemming from something of that nature, according to Sports Illustrated. Again, I don't know, but him in a AAA or CMLL even makes a lot of sense. I mean, he's a huge star in Mexico, in that part of the world, and he obviously knows that style very intimately. Perhaps that could be something for him. I don't know. I think he's a hell of a talent.
I think so too. I really do.
Well, he works so smooth, man.
I think he could do everything. Not being able to speak English fluent,
Hold you back.
it does. It really does. That's why guys like Eddie, went so far in the business. You know what I mean? Because he was fluent, in Spanish as well as English. So I think that might have held Andrade back just a little bit. I know I might get a little bit of heat for that, but I think I'm speaking the truth.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if you're not bilingual and you're working predominantly in the United States, it can hurt. And I think that's why Zelina was paired with him originally, because, man, Zelina Vega can tear up a microphone with the best of them. And when she was talking for him, it was great. And that's no shock at all to anybody. So I don't think you get any heat for saying that. But, we'll see what happens with Andrade if more details come out about exactly what happened, because it did come as a little bit of a surprise. It came as a little bit of a surprise. But we do have a few super chats before we get out of here, Book. Should we go ahead and take them?
Let's do it.
This comes from Cali Toenail. I heard a distinct voice on SmackDown. It just so happens it was a lit show. Brock versus his pants, and and keep this scene throughout. So is BT coming back? Well, you're not coming back full time to SmackDown, but Brock versus his pants was not a fun moment for him.
It's crazy when Brock walked out. He walked out. I don't know if you saw it. He walked past the announce table. He looks at me. He goes. He just gave me the nod. I'm like, all right, I'm still in good graces. You know what I mean? And then he ran to and ripped his pants, you know what I mean? But what a night, man. What a night. Be back on SmackDown, because the action was, man, it was hard and heavy. I had such a great time. Like I say, it was so easy calling SmackDown. And I'm sure it won't be that easy doing it on a regular basis. But on that night, everything clicked so good, because the matches was like, man, spot on and just hot and heavy from the beginning.
Yeah, no, and Brock ripping his pants, probably the only guy in the history of WWE who can rip his pants, and no one's going to say anything about it when he gets to the back.
How can we help you? Can we help you, Brock?
Yeah. We got some more jeans back here for you, Brock. No problem. No problem. Tear them all up you want. They're all good. John, JID999, who's been a member for 22 months. We appreciate that, John. Said, as a kid, I grew up in the early 2010s watching wrestling. I'm seeing full circle moments happen. Lesnar versus Cena, Usos on top, Booker on commentary. Yeah, the Usos are going to be part of that WrestlePalooza show, which we should mention that we will be covering WrestlePalooza for ESPN Radio nationally this Friday evening. So make sure you want to tune in to that. That's going to be a fun show. But Lesnar, Cena, Usos on top. Yeah, it feels a little 2010s again. I actually can't wait to see Brock and Cena tear it up one more time. They had such great chemistry in the last time I remember them wrestling. So that's going to be a fun match.
Cena's been doing some really, really good work. I mean, he's really work. That's where watching him and Sami Zayn definitely, man, it made me just have goosebumps, because I'm watching John Cena from a different perspective than most, just because I had a huge part and, trying to, get John Cena ready for the main stage. And then when I watch him do certain things, I go, man, like we've done that before, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So the work that he's been doing lately, man, has been definitely the way you want to go out of this business. Big ups to John Cena.
Shout out to John. The next one here, Marcus Craig, you and Vic on SmackDown was great to see. Well, I'm sure you appreciate that.
Man, it really was. Had a great time. Like I said, my man Vic definitely makes it he makes it easy for me. I must say, I give Vic a lot of credit as far as being able to go out there and, captain that ship, quarterback that thing, and really, get the best out of me, that we possibly can get, So, man, had a great time.
And finally, D'Angelo Brown says, new dark side character for Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe may be taking a little bit of a darker turn as of late on NXT.
No, man, Blake Monroe, she showed me something in her last match. And she went out and really showed that she's a performer. She's a real worker. She's not just somebody that a pretty face or anything like that. She can really go out and perform in the ring at a very high level. That's what I want to see from Blake more than anything. And she definitely, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Blake Monroe going forward. The thing is, the report card was out, and I think I mentioned that. I wasn't going to just be, be one of those guys to say, I like her just because, she's here and I've heard a lot about her. Now, you got to show me something, and Blake Monroe definitely I think she has the goods. She really does.
I've always been a big fan of Blake Monroe, and her in WWE obviously made a lot of sense to me when she came in. But, you know, the women's division is so stacked that you're right. You have to really step up. You have to step up in that NXT women's roster to get noticed and to be on the map. And I think that she's doing all the right things so far. She's doing all the right things so far. And if the wrestling's good, the character's good, the look is good, the presence is good, the entrance is good, good things are going to happen for Blake Monroe. There's no doubt about it.
Money. I see a star. I see a star in the making. You know what I mean? That's what NXT is all about. You know, it's a pit stop for stars. And Blake is definitely just making a stop in NXT to move on to bigger and better things, baby. Oh, yes.
We know book tonight at NRG Stadium, the Texans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to have our H's up. We're going to be representing Monday Night Football. Are we going all the way to the Super Bowl this year? Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it with the H's up high?
You know what? I'm not gonna predict something like that. I don't want to jinx us. I mean, I just want them boys to go out there and work harder than anybody else. Go out there and leave everything on the field. It's about going out there and taking care of business on this beautiful, beautiful Monday night, like you say at NRG. Who's going to be representing H-Town? Oh, yes, man. They should have paid me for that little drop right there, but that's another story. But we got to get
in the invoice.
We got to get up out of here, man. Want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, baby. Like Brad said, we getting ready to get ready to hit the NRG and watch these Texans play. Brad, for all the heavy lifting as always. Until next time here inside the Hall of Fame. Peace. We love you. And we out.